The United Nations top court has decided that Israel must immediately halt its military offensive in Rafah in southern Gaza. The International Court of Justice, which rules on disputes between countries, says the catastrophic situation in Gaza had deteriorated and described humanitarian conditions in Rafah as disastrous. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has again rejected allegations of genocide, calling them false and outrageous. Lucy Williamson has the latest from Jerusalem.
Israel's soldiers have been ordered to push into Rafah. Israel's leaders have been ordered to stop. Footage from both sides shows the fighting as Israeli troops edge closer to the city centre. But the UN's highest court today focused on civilians, those still there, and the 800,000 who have fled.
Israel must immediately halt its military offensive and any other action in the Rafah governorate which may inflict on the Palestinian group in Gaza conditions of life that could bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part.
Israel says this is a precise and limited operation, but satellite pictures of Rafah show the destruction less than 2 weeks after the assault. Today, Israel's army said it had recovered the bodies of 3 hostages from northern Gaza: Michel Nissenbaum, Oriane Hernandez and Hanane Blanca. One member of the war cabinet said Israel had to keep fighting to return its hostages and safeguard its citizens, and would continue to act according to international law. Foreign criticism of Israel's actions in Gaza is growing, but Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, or Bibi as he's known, is comfortable being seen as the staunch defender of Israel's security under siege.
I don't like Bibi, to say the least. I don't think he's a war criminal. It's very easy to sit miles away and criticize what's happening. Do you have a better alternative?
I don't really care about what people thinking about us. You can see that if we do care about what people think us, so we should stop the war. No, we are here. We are Israel. Therefore, it's really important us to have a support, and we don't get it.
Salwa al-Masri, sheltering in a tent on the coast north of Rafah, had little faith in the court's power to change her situation.
Implement this on the ground. They shouldn't say one thing and do something different. Today, they say they want to stop the war, but the massacres are only increasing.
The Rafah offensive has blocked key aid routes through southern Gaza. Supplies brought in via a new US pier, quickly looted. The court today ordered Israel to reopen the Rafah crossing. New battle lines in this war, driven by promises on both sides to protect civilians. Lucy Williamson, BBC News, Jerusalem.
Dominic Casciani is here with me. The jurisdiction of the court, can they enforce this?
Not really, Clive, no. It's not as if there's a world police force out there to go and execute a warrant. Look, South Africa asked for a lot more than it actually got here. So while this is chalking this up as a victory, if you actually look at the wording, it only applies to Rafah, nowhere else in Gaza. And there's actually room in here for Israel to actually effectively appease the courts, because the court says halt the military offensive there if it may bring about the physical destruction of the Palestinians. So in essence, it's saying if you've got other military options, go for those. On the enforceability, the practical route for South Africa, if nothing happens, is to go to the UN and try and get the Security Council votes. But then, of course, that becomes political. The US has a block there. So in reality, this is where law and diplomacy rubs up. And the court has tried to pull off a balancing act. It stopped short. Yes, again, I'm talking about this being genocide. It's trying to find the language to underline the alarm and reflect what it's seeing on the ground. But it's not tone deaf to diplomacy. So it's really batting this towards Israel. And critically also, the US and other countries saying, enforce this, find a solution.
Sure. OK, Dominic, thank you. Dominic Casciani, our legal affairs correspondent there.